Have you ever wondered why certain folks seem to fade away from your life once you pass your 70th birthday? You might think it is all in your head, but in many cases, it is a genuine shift in how others see your age, your schedule, and your changing priorities. People who once laughed with you at gatherings may begin to drift, and those who used to seek your company might grow distant. The reasons vary, and they are not always obvious, which can leave you puzzled, hurt, or even lonely. Still, it is possible to make changes that renew those precious connections and strengthen the bonds you hold dear. Contrary to what some might think, it is not always about your physical health or your ability to keep pace with younger relatives or friends. Sometimes, society conditions people to equate advanced age with being out of touch, and that assumption grows stronger as the years roll by. In other instances, those you care about might feel uncertain about the best way to include you in their busy lives, believing you might be uncomfortable with certain activities or drained by large gatherings. These shifts can happen so slowly that you only catch on long after the distance has formed. Before going further, take a moment to share where you are tuning in from. And if this topic resonates with you, a like and subscribe would really help spread this message far and wide. You can start by recognizing that avoidance often has little to do with you as a person and more to do with misunderstandings or preconceived ideas. Friends and family might believe you prefer peace and quiet over casual visits or group outings. They might also worry about inconveniencing you, not realizing that you appreciate having options and deciding for yourself if you want to participate. By clarifying what you enjoy and what you can do, you ease their concerns and open the door to new shared moments. Communication, both written and spoken, becomes more vital than ever at this stage. Try asking questions about the reasons behind someone's distance when you notice it. Be gentle, because confrontation can push people further away. Start with a simple conversation that invites honesty, such as asking if they feel uncertain about how to include you. You might discover that a friend hesitated to invite you to a weekend trip, fearing it might be too exhausting. Clearing up assumptions lays the groundwork for genuine togetherness and a renewed sense of belonging. When people realize you welcome their company, they stop hesitating. This helps protect the closeness you treasure. It brings them much closer again. Another point to consider is how you handle conversations. Sometimes, you might feel a strong urge to share timeless lessons, especially if younger folks come around. While it is helpful to pass on what you have learned, people can feel overwhelmed if they sense that every interaction turns into a lecture. Balancing your desire to guide others with listening to what they have to say can build mutual respect. Reflecting on their stories shows you value their current experiences. This balance helps bridge the generational gap and makes your presence feel welcoming, rather than something they might want to avoid. Consider your reactions when others mention modern culture, technology, or changing social norms. If you dismiss new ideas or talk down about how things were better in the past, people may worry about discussing their interests with you. You do not need to embrace every trend, but showing genuine curiosity about what matters to others can help you stay connected. Asking questions, even basic ones, demonstrates you care about their world. That openness breaks down barriers and counters the mistaken belief that you might be too rigid for new ideas. It also shows that you truly remain enthusiastic about life. Physical limitations can also play a role in how others perceive your availability or willingness to participate in social events. If you sometimes need extra time to get around, or if you have to pace yourself, people might think that invites or outings are burdensome. To address this, let others know what you are comfortable doing. Suggest alternatives if you need more flexible plans. Perhaps a shorter gathering or a location with easy access can make a big difference. Showing that you are open to adjustments reassures others that you still welcome their company, even if some small details change. Keep in mind that people's lives get busy. Loved ones might be juggling work, parenting, or personal projects. They might not always think to reach out, even if they genuinely enjoy your company. Instead of waiting for them, try taking the initiative. Call to ask how they are doing or invite them for a simple meal. Being the one to reach out shows that you care about the relationship and are willing to connect. It also reminds them that you are present and interested, which can counter the misconception that you prefer solitude just because you have recently crossed 70. You can also find ways to stay active in shared interests or hobbies. Local communities often have walking clubs, art classes, reading circles, or volunteer opportunities where people of different ages gather. If you join activities that match your energy level and passions, you broaden your social network and meet new people who appreciate your outlook. Those connections can also help you reconnect with older friends or relatives by giving you fresh things to talk about. When others see you remaining engaged and curious, they realize you have much to offer. That realization can reverse their habit of avoiding you. Social media can serve as another bridge, although it might feel unfamiliar at first. If you are open to learning basic online communication, you can keep in touch with distant relatives or old friends who now live far away. By commenting on their photos or sending short messages, you show genuine interest in their lives. Over time, they may reconnect in a more consistent way. Of course, it is wise to keep your boundaries, since too much screen time can quickly become overwhelming. Yet a little effort online can revive connections that otherwise might have faded as the years passed. It is also essential to watch out for signs of bitterness or frustration that might creep in. People might avoid you if you appear constantly displeased or dissatisfied with your life. Acknowledging that aging has its difficulties is fair, but dwelling on regrets can make conversations feel heavy. Instead, focus on what you still enjoy, whether it is a nature walk, a favorite book, or a gentle exercise routine. Showing that you find small joys daily can attract people who want a dose of your perspective. Your appreciation for the present can inspire them to spend more time with you. Sometimes, people avoid you because they worry about causing stress or emotional strain. They might sense that certain topics, like health concerns or financial struggles, could upset you. If you feel comfortable, let them know that talking openly about life's realities does not upset you as much as they might fear. Honest discussions can truly be healing if approached with kindness and respect. Reassuring loved ones that you want to hear about their challenges, too, creates a truly mutual exchange of support. You can show empathy for their problems while sharing your own experiences, paving the way for deeper connections. Ultimately, repairing the distance that creeps in after 70 comes down to openness, communication, and a willingness to adapt. While it can be disheartening to see some relationships fade, plenty of people still value your insights and presence. Address assumptions by letting friends and family know you appreciate invitations, even if you cannot always accept. Stay curious about their lives and encourage them to share both joys and struggles. Offer your understanding without insisting on lecturing. A little vulnerability goes a long way in showing that you remain invested in meaningful connections. Whether it is through a short phone call, a social media message, or a walk in the park, continue finding ways to let people know they are always welcome in your life. This approach can revive fading bonds. To sum things up, people do not always avoid you after 70 because of something you did. Often, it is a mixture of assumptions, life changes, and simple misunderstandings. By staying open-minded, expressing your willingness to join or host gatherings, and taking the first step in communication, You show that age does not diminish your spirit or your eagerness to connect. Relatives and friends will eventually recognize that your presence brings warmth, perspective, and sincerity, and a loving ear. Give them room to express their own feelings and allow yourself the same liberty. Little by little, these efforts can mend old gaps and prevent new ones from forming. May you find renewed closeness with those you cherish and keep building bonds that stand the test of time.